And see, that's the nature of guru, right? Guru is not meant to be worship. You don't stop at your guru and fall at his feet and worship all damn day. The guru is meant to be a symbol to help you recognize what's going on inside of you, to help you acclimate and recognize. He's used as a symbol to get to a certain point. Mm-hmm. No matter how long it takes, it may take years, it may take months. And then the next step is to move to the next guru, which doesn't always have to be a physical person. But for most of us,
that's a westernized mind to get caught up in how long something's going to take.
Yeah.
They're always looking, westernized mind and science is always looking for the origin and ending of something.
Yeah.
When did the universe begin? When will it end? When will a supernova happen on the sun?
Yeah.
It's always looking for the beginning and the ending. That's why that's why I said it may take that's an obstacle. That people get caught and worried about how long it's going to take. Somebody may be 33, 34 years old, and they just now discovering this, and they feeling great. We didn't read Initiation into Hermetics and a Mystical Kabbalah, and then Ophiel, and then now Dharana Darshan. They've been meditating and shit like that. Them motherfuckers want the Kundalini open tomorrow. When it may take 15 more years just to clean the westernized conditioning of your cellular structure. This shit ain't just about the thinking, it's about cellular structure. Your genetics and DNA have been reprogrammed to follow something that has nothing to do with the internal you. People don't understand. I had to tell my daughters the other day about this, and they didn't understand that you are not Satori. You're like, that's not you. I just labeled you that, and your body is not you. She couldn't get it. I said, because we're sitting in this car, does that make us the car? She was like, no. And then she looked away, and she said, oh, so that means that there's something is inside of me that's really me, and my body is just a car? I said, you got it.
Wow. The lips of wisdom are closed except to the ears of understanding. Just look at what happens when you tell somebody about a Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. Those who do not have ears of understanding start treating life like an anime. But that goes for all of this stuff. If you don't have the what did the unfortunate say? Almost how like knowledge is like light, and you can't see light except when it reflects off of the particles. So if you don't have the particles of understanding in your brain, it doesn't matter what kind of light enters in. It's not going to reflect right. It's not going to show up right.
Yeah, I remember her saying as well, one of the concepts of evil. If someone is too far advanced, when they try and articulate, it comes across as evil.
Ooh.
Even though in essence, it's the highest good. If it's too far out of your reach, it's perceived as evil.
And that's what Christianity has done for years. Because the priests and the popes, they have a level of understanding, but they don't have that deeper level of understanding for utilization of it. So they label it sinister and sinful, and it's where we don't support that type of activity. But isn't most things still from a planetary aspect? Because no matter that whatever Pluto's orbit is to be, it would never be able to shift close enough to the sun to become hot. It's just too far away to receive the information. That's why when you look at the walls of Egypt, they always had the sun, and it had hands, which were the rays of the sun reaching down, holding the Ankh, because information is life, and life comes from solar radiation. So even though most people will have a Pluto type of consciousness, but they will never be able to fully receive the life-giving rays of the sun so they can cultivate a higher understanding. Higher understanding takes cultivation.
Yes.
Most people are not able to grow any fucking thing.
Right.
You can tell that from their life. Their life is always filled with no life. There's nothing growing. They're not growing. Their relationships are not growing. So how are they going to cultivate growth in them? It's not going to happen. And a lot of people don't want to accept that some people are not, this life, their life cycle is meant to not to fucking grow. That's a part of their emanation here on this planet. They're an example for somebody else of what a lack of growth looks like. Everything has to have a demonstration. It has to have an example so you can know what it is. Darkness had to manifest illumination so we can know that there's an aspect of without physical light, or what we conceive as physical light. Because the longer you stay in darkness, you are eventually going to attune yourself to it's going to become illuminated so you can visually start seeing things. And if it doesn't physically happen, it's going to mentally happen. You're going to mentally start creating a light, and you're going to start having visions of things. Some of them visions are called insanity, which is not insane. It's just a perception of someone else's viewpoint. You could not ask questions.
Right.
That was me. I was the kid who, my first question was, if there was Adam and Eve, and then they had two sons, Cain and Abel, and Cain kills Abel, why did God need to put a mark on him so people could know that he was a murderer if there was nobody else here? And then he goes to the land of Nod, and he finds his wife there. Where did they come from?
Yeah.
The pastor, those are certain things you're not supposed to ask about the Bible. I was done from there when I was 9.
Yikes.
Man, my question was, if they fucked up, why do we have to suffer? That was my first question.
What the hell had to do with me?
And I was like, what was before the beginning? Like, why didn't you just decide to start then? Like, what was before the before? Like,
what type of God is jealous? What type of God is jealous?
Yeah, I used to think, when I used to go to Catholic church and stuff like that, they would be like kneeling down to Jesus and stuff like that. And I'm like, you guys are kneeling down to an action figure. Like, that's how I used to think. Like, this is an action figure.
Yikes.
I can't take it serious, so I never took it serious. It's like,
yeah.
I made, like, my family, because of my non-interest, they switched from Catholic to non-denomination Christian, and then they just stopped going to church too.
Damn.
Just, it is, some people can live a beautiful life in religion. They're good people, they're great people, loving, caring. You know what I mean? They just be Christians. I'm not knocking the individuals. I'm knocking the system. The system just doesn't work for me. You know what I'm saying?